Have you ever wondered if a simple wooden box could hold something darker than time itself? Not money, not letters, not memories. Something unseen, breathing like a shadow between the cracks. Some say this particular box carried not just history, but a curse strong enough to follow its owners across generations, even into Hollywood. Picture the scene: a small antique wine cabinet, no bigger than a nightstand, resting on a dusty auction table in Portland, Oregon, in 2001. The wood looked warm but cared for, its doors carved delicately, its hinges faintly creaking as though sighing from another life. It almost looked harmless, almost, but every person who touched it would soon tell a story they'd never forget. Now let me ask you, how much of what we call haunted is just a mind's fear, and how much is a whisper of truth we dare not face? The box's story begins not in Oregon, but decades earlier, during the chaos of World War II. A woman named Havila, a Holocaust survivor, claimed she had sealed something inside. When she passed, her family put the box up for sale, along with her belongings. But her granddaughter warned the buyer, "Please don't open it. It has always brought us bad luck." Of course, warnings like these are easy to dismiss, until it's too late. Kevin Mannis, the antique shop owner who bought it, thought he'd stumbled upon a curious relic. He planned to restore it, maybe sell it to a collector. But soon, his shop filled with strange smells: jasmine, sometimes cat urine. Lights flickered, cold spots drifted in the air. He dreamed of an old, angry woman night after night. His mother, after receiving the box as a gift, suffered a sudden stroke. How do you explain that? Coincidence? Or something carefully waiting inside? Inside the cabinet were odd little treasures. 2 pennies from the 1920s, a dried rose, a wine goblet, 2 locks of hair bound with string, and a small statue with the word Shalom etched into it. They felt less like keepsakes and more like fragments of ritual. Kevin researched and learned of the Jewish folklore surrounding a Dibbuk, a restless spirit that clings to the living, feeding on sorrow. And suddenly, the warnings made sense. But once an object like this slips into the world, how do you put it back to sleep? Mannis eventually sold it on eBay, where its legend grew. The next owners reported night terrors, hair falling out, shadowy figures in their homes. Electronics failed. Strange bruises appeared on their skin. Each person who tried to get rid of it seemed relieved, only for the next buyer to inherit the torment. The story spread so widely that journalists began calling it the haunted eBay box. Collectors, skeptics, and thrill seekers all watched its trail like vultures circling a carcass. But here's the question that lingers like smoke. Can evil cling to objects, or do we give evil a body by believing in it? Hollywood eventually came knocking. In 2012, the story inspired the film Possession. At first, it seemed like just another supernatural thriller. But cast and crew whispered of strange things happening during production. Lights blew out without reason. Props caught fire. Filmmakers asked to bring the real box to set, but quickly backed out when rumors spread that anyone near it suffered misfortune. Actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan admitted that many on set refused to even say the word Dibbuk out loud, as if speaking it might open a door. He laughed about it later, but his eyes told a different story. Is it superstition or survival to stay silent before a name like that? The box eventually landed in the hands of Jason Haxton, a museum director in Missouri. Unlike the terrified eBay buyers before him, he tried to study it. Haxton claimed it made his eyes bleed, filled his home with swarming shadows, and gave him visions of ghastly faces. And yet, he kept it almost like a reluctant guardian. He even wrote a book about his experiences, and in interviews, he spoke with a strange mix of fear and awe. He said the box was both a blessing and a curse, an object that amplified emotions, a mirror to the darkest corners of the soul. And that leads us to a chilling thought. What if the box doesn't bring the darkness, but simply awakens the one already hiding in us? Eventually, Haxton claimed to have sealed the Dibbuk again, performing rituals to contain it. Today, the box is reportedly hidden away, sometimes rumored to be in the collection of Zach Bagans, the paranormal investigator behind the Haunted Museum in Las Vegas. He too tells stories of people fainting, becoming violently ill, or feeling something unseen brush against them when near it. Tourists line up to glimpse it, some trembling, some skeptical, as though testing their courage against a box of wood and shadow. And yet, few leave without a shiver. So here's the harder question. Why do we keep chasing stories that terrify us? Is it because we want proof of the other side? Or because, deep down, we already know it exists? What makes the Dibbuk Box special isn't just the folklore or the fear. It's the way it refuses to be forgotten. A tiny piece of furniture, passed from survivor to shopkeeper to Hollywood, leaving a trail of trembling voices in its wake. And maybe that's the real curse. Not that it hurts those who own it, but that it pulls all of us into its orbit, daring us to believe, daring us to wonder what happens when we open doors that should have stayed closed. Think about it. We keep telling the story, we keep writing it down, we keep making movies about it. We've already let the spirit out in the only way that truly matters, through memory. And memory, once alive, is something you can never put back inside a box. If you felt that chill, you're not alone. Stories like this linger because they touch a place we don't like to visit in the daylight. If you'd like to hear more tales that walk the line between history and haunting, go ahead and like this video. Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more. Until next time, keep your doors closed and your old boxes sealed tight.